Good evening. This is Akashvani. I am Saira Mujtaba with the news at 9. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to begin his two-nation visit of France and UAE from tomorrow to attend Bastille Day parade in Paris as guest of honor. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar holds talks with ASEAN Secretary General Dr. Kao Kim Hoon, suggests India-ASEAN dialogue in finance, cyber and maritime domains. Centre releases over 7,500 crore rupees to 22 states for disaster response. IMD issues red alert for rain in West Bengal and Sikkim for tomorrow. Orange alert issued for Delhi as Yamuna River breaches danger mark. And in cricket, first test of two-match series between India and West Indies underway at Rizzo in Dominica. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will pay an official visit to France and the United Arab Emirates from tomorrow to the 15th of July. In the first leg of his tour, the Prime Minister will visit Paris at the invitation of President of France, Emmanuel Macron. He will be the guest of honor at the Bastille Day parade on Friday, where a Tri-Services Indian Armed Forces contingent would be participating. Briefing media in New Delhi this afternoon, Foreign Secretary Vinay Kwatra gave the details of the Prime Minister's visit.
The major official and ceremonial part of the visit will start on the 14th, which is with the Prime Minister's participation at the French National Day celebration, Bastille Day. This is a very, very special gesture extended by France to Prime Minister Modi. A large Tri-Services contingent from India will also participate in the Bastille Day parade, along with 3 Indian Air Force aircraft, which would also take part in the flypast after the Bastille Day celebrations.
Mr. Kwatra said the Prime Minister will meet French Prime Minister Elisabeth Borne and President of the French Senate Gérard Larcher tomorrow. In the evening, Mr. Modi will interact with the Indian community, which will be followed by a private dinner hosted by President Macron at Elysee Palace in honor of the Prime Minister.
There is going to be another ceremonial reception at the Elysee Palace on the 14th, later in the evening, which will then be followed by delegation-level discussions led by Prime Minister Modi and President Macron. The two leaders will also interact with the CEOs from both countries under the rubric of India-France CEO Forum. The program in France would conclude with a state banquet to be hosted in honor of Prime Minister at the iconic Louvre Museum.
Our correspondent reports that this year marks the 25th anniversary of the India-France strategic partnership. The Prime Minister's visit will provide an opportunity to chart the course of the partnership for the future across diverse sectors such as strategic, cultural, scientific, academic and economic cooperation. On the second leg of his visit, the Prime Minister will visit Abu Dhabi on the 15th of July. He will hold talks with the UAE President and ruler of Abu Dhabi, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar today reached Jakarta on the first leg of his two-nation visit to Indonesia and Thailand. Dr. Jaishankar began his engagements with a meeting with ASEAN Secretary General Dr. Kao Kim Hoon. The External Affairs Minister suggested India-ASEAN dialogue in finance, cyber and maritime domains. Dr. Jaishankar and Dr. Hoon agreed to expand the India-ASEAN Track 2 engagement. The External Affairs Minister said, "Our ASEAN relationship paved the way for the Indo-Pacific vision and India is therefore deeply committed to the principle of ASEAN centrality." Dr. Jaishankar also held a meeting with foreign ministers of Vietnam, Malaysia, Australia and Indonesia. Tomorrow, Dr. Jaishankar will attend foreign ministers' meetings under the ASEAN framework in the format ASEAN-India, East Asia Summit and ASEAN Regional Forum. Minister of State for External Affairs V. Muralidharan today reached Damascus on a 2-day official visit to Syria. This is the first ministerial-level visit from India to Syria since August 2016. During the 2-day visit, Mr. Muralidharan is to meet the Syrian leadership for wide-ranging discussions. He will also interact with a group of Syrian students who have studied or are proceeding to study in India under the government's scholarship scheme. He is also expected to meet functionaries of the Syrian Orthodox Church. Union Cooperation Minister Amit Shah has said that National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development (NABARD) is ensuring development and prosperity in rural areas by making rural banking accessible. Addressing the 42nd Foundation Day of NABARD in New Delhi this evening, Mr. Shah said a country which has more than 65% rural population cannot be imagined without an institution like NABARD.
65% ग्रामीण जनसंख्या जिस देश में हो उस देश की कल्पना नाबार्ड के बगैर की ही नहीं जा सकती। तो 4 दशक में और विशेषकर 3 दशक में नाबार्ड ने इस देश की ग्रामीण अर्थव्यवस्था, ग्रामीण इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, इस देश के खेती, एग्रीकल्चर, इस देश की कोऑपरेटिव संस्थाएं और 1.5 दशक से इस देश के स्वसहाय जुटों की विकास की रीढ़ की हड्डी नाबार्ड सिद्ध हुई है।
Mr. Shah said NABARD has successfully increased the work of refinancing and capital formation. He said so far 8 lakh crore rupees have been injected into the rural economy through NABARD for capital formation. He said to me the various needs of agriculture, NABARD has refinanced 12 lakh crore rupees in the rural economy. The Cooperation Minister said NABARD has provided financial assistance to 1 crore self-help groups. He said it is the largest program of microfinancing in the whole world and the country achieved this feat through NABARD. As part of India's G20 presidency, the 3rd Trade and Investment Working Group meeting concluded at Kevadia today. Briefing media, Secretary of the Department of Commerce, Sunil Barthwal, said the representatives focused on building consensus on various trade-related issues such as digitization of trade documents and integration of MSMEs in the global supply chain. He said that digitized documents will ensure ease of doing business in global trade. The 3-day meeting was organized to build consensus among G20 countries on adopting proposals put forward by the Indian presidency on global trade and investment-related issues. This is Akashvani giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. Welcome back. The centre today released 7,532 crore rupees to 22 states for disaster response. The Department of Expenditure in the Ministry of Finance released the amount as per the recommendations of the Ministry of Home Affairs. In the wake of heavy rain across the country, the guidelines have been relaxed and the amount has been released as immediate assistance to states. The State Disaster Response Fund is the primary fund available to state governments for responses to notified disasters. The fund is to be used only for meeting the expenditure for providing immediate relief to the victims of notified calamities. The IMD has issued a red alert for rain in West Bengal and Sikkim for tomorrow. It has asked people to avoid areas prone to waterlogging and stay away from vulnerable structures. Isolated extremely heavy rainfall is also very likely over Arunachal Pradesh and sub-Himalayan West Bengal and Sikkim in the next 2 days. It has forecast extremely heavy rainfall activity over northeast India and Sikkim tomorrow. Heavy to very heavy rainfall activity is also likely to continue over Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh and West Madhya Pradesh during the next 2 days. Isolated heavy rainfall is also very likely over eastern Rajasthan during the next 4 days and over Himachal Pradesh on the 15th and the 16th of July. The Met Department has forecast a decrease in rainfall activity over northwest India. However, it is likely to continue over the Gangetic Plains during the next 5 days. In Himachal Pradesh, intermittent rain continued for the 5th day today. However, relief and rescue work has been taken up on a war footing in the areas affected by heavy rain and floods. More from our correspondent.
So far, 25,000 tourists have been safely evacuated from Kullu, while 52 school children stranded at Sisu in Lahore Spiti district have also been brought to Manali. Chief Minister Sukhvinder Singh Sukhu is taking stock of the damage caused by heavy rains, and today he conducted an aerial survey of Sisu, Chandratal and Losar areas in Lahore Spiti. The Chief Minister said that the situation in Chandratal area is challenging, but the state government is ensuring the safety of all the 293 people lodged in various camps there. More than 100 trackers have also been shifted to safer places in the state. Ritesh Kapoor, Akashvani News, Shimla.
In Uttarakhand, there has been intermittent light to moderate rain over most parts of the state during the last 48 hours. A report from our correspondent.
Heavy machinery along with manpower has been deployed at different points of hilly areas on war footing to open about 200 roads closed due to heavy rains and landslide. In the plains including Dehradun and Haridwar, the situation of waterlogging remained at many places even today. Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami has given instruction to assess the damage caused in the areas affected by waterlogging. Meanwhile, the Uttarakhand government has issued a helpline number 9411112780 for people stranded in different places of the state including Himachal Pradesh. Sanjeev Sundaryal, Akashvani News, Dehradun.
Haryana Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar today conducted an aerial survey of the districts affected by heavy rain and waterlogging. Mr. Khattar said that heavy rain and waterlogging have caused maximum damage in Ambala district. So far, 10 people have died in different rain-related incidents in the past few days. He announced a compensation of 4 lakh rupees to the next of the kin of the deceased due to rain-related incidents. In Punjab, the weather normally remained clear throughout the day in most parts with bright sunshine today. It helped different agencies engage in rescue and relief operations in the flood-affected areas of the state. The IMD has issued an orange alert for Delhi as the water level of Yamuna River breached the danger mark of 205.33 meters today. Incessant rainfall in Delhi and surrounding regions has led to a rise in water levels significantly. At 8 a.m. today, the water level of the river was 207.25 meters. Also, 359,000 cusecs of water was released from the Hathni Kund barrage yesterday, leading to concerns about flooding in the region. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal today requested people living in low-lying areas to vacate their homes. The Chief Minister added that there are several places affected by the rise in the level of water in Yamuna River. The annual Amarnath Yatra is going on smoothly from the twin tracks of Noonwan Pahalgam in Anantnag district and Domail Baltal in Ganderbal district. As per the reports that last came in, over 9,000 yatris paid their obeisance at the Holy Cave Shrine today. The cumulative total of pilgrims who have paid obeisance is almost 1,47,000 till this evening. President Draupadi Murmu will be on a 3-day visit to Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan from tomorrow. The President will grace the 4th convocation of Atal Bihari Vajpayee Indian Institute of Information Technology and Management in Gwalior. On Friday, President Murmu will address the members of the Rajasthan Legislative Assembly in Jaipur. She will also address a seminar organized by Rajasthan Legislative Assembly under the auspices of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association Rajasthan branch at Jaipur. The Index of Industrial Production IIP grew by 5.2% in May 2023 from 4.2% in April this year. As per the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation's data released today, manufacturing sector's output grew 5.5% and mining output rose by 5.8% for the reported period. The index of manufacturing of pharmaceuticals, medicinal chemicals and botanical products gained the most as it climbed 22.6%. The 7th edition of Asia's premier digital technology exhibition, India Mobile Congress, will be held from the 27th of October this year at Pragati Maidan in New Delhi. The 3-day event is being co-hosted by the Department of Telecommunications and Cellular Operators Association of India. On to sports now. In cricket, the first test of the 2-match series between India and the West Indies is underway at Roseau in Dominica. The hosts have won the toss and elected to bat first. They were 56 for 3 in their first innings when reports last came in. India have made a few changes in the test squad. 3 players are included in the team for the first time ever. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to begin his 2-nation visit of France and UAE from tomorrow to attend Bastille Day Parade in Paris as guest of honor. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar holds talks with ASEAN Secretary General Dr. Kao Kim Hoon, suggests India-ASEAN dialogue in finance, cyber and maritime domains. Centre releases over 7,500 crore rupees to 22 states for disaster response. IMD issues red alert for rain in West Bengal and Sikkim for tomorrow. Orange alert issued for Delhi as Yamuna River breaches danger mark. And in cricket, first test of 2-match series between India and West Indies underway at Roseau in Dominica. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.gov.in and News on AIR app. That's all in the news at 9. Good night.